So the most annoying card in the Sun and Moon block, chosen by you. Let's get to the intro. Starting off with one that I know a lot of people hate. We've got Marshadow from Shining Legends. Now, on face value, little Marshadow doesn't look like that much of a scary geezer. Not gonna lie, you know, he's just chilling, little geezer, not a lot of HP, rubbish attack. It's that ability though. That ability is insane. When you bench this Pokemon, both players shuffle their hand and draw 4 cards. So it's like a judge that you can do turn 1 and really disrupt your opponent. You can give your opponent a 4-card hand before they've even played a card, alright? Before they've had a turn. And this is back when you could play a supporter on your first turn going first. So you can like, you can Marshadow yourself, get a Lele, get a Lily, and you're laughing. Whereas your opponent's just like, oh, I've got nothing to do. And you know how good it is because decks like Big Percephalon had no reason to be playing that. They only played it just because they play Treasure and they can just brick your opponent. So many games at regionals where people were just like, oh, how'd your game go? And you're just like, oh, I got let loose. And and that was that. See, I always personally used it as a way, like if I missed cards that I need off my supporter, like Energy or like Malamar, for example, I would use the let loose to try and extend my turn to increase my chances of seeing the card I want. No. The best way by far was to use it just to brick your opponent. So yeah, super annoying card, format defining card, caused many an outrage on like a Verbank and a Hey Fonte. And that's why it's here nominated most annoying card, baby. Right, next up we got Hooper from Shining Legends as well. It seems to be a common trend of these Shining Legend cards being really annoying. But yeah, Hooper basically had Decidueye's ability, right? One a basic, it can't be hit by EX or GX, and back then that was a lot of the format. You know, these sort of cards are just super annoying to deal with, right? Like if you were playing, I'm trying to think, if you was playing like a Buzzwole deck, for example. Yeah, Buzzwole had a really hard time dealing with Hooper from Shining Legends. You end up having to attack with Rockruff, which is funny to think about. One of my best ever regional places, top 64 at Leipzig. My deck was a Wobbuffet, you know, wishy-washy walls type thing, and it played 2 Hooper. And Hooper could just single-handedly at the time just like lock down your opponent. If they haven't got the answers, they're literally there twiddling their thumbs. If you manage to just like, you know, get rid of one answer and that's all they've got, Hooper can just sit there for the whole game and you're just there like rockets, Lucamine, Lucamine. Absolutely crazy for sure. So yeah, that's why I was nominated. Just a little geezer that people couldn't deal with. There's even an attacking Hooper archetype at one point. I remember that. Never played it myself. That's how good it was. It only did like what 3 for 90 or 3 for 80, I believe, and that was good enough. You just go like 80, 90, 80. That's all you had to do. So yeah, that's Hooper. Oh boy. Then we got Celesaur. Oh, I remember when Team Up came out, I had like what Evilax, you had Pikarom. People think, oh look at these crazy new cards, look how good they are. But then you got those players that are right. This Celesaur right here is a big problem. Let's have a look. So straight off the bat, big hefty HP, kind of scary. Top attack, you know, for 3 energy. So many special conditions. It's enough to the point where like you could be going ahead quite well, and they just hit you with that, and all of a sudden, if you flip tails, you're like, oh, wait a minute. And it's just going to start chipping you. The second attack is a perfectly fine number to clean up 2 shots almost everything in format. But then I think it was the GX attack that made it ridiculous, right? So the GX attack, you'd literally do the damage. That's irrelevant, you know. But you'd shuffle your discard pile back into your deck and completely heal yourself. And I'll tell you what, you play so much healing. You like Mixed Herb, you know, all this stuff, and you just heal. Gardenia was a thing, and you just couldn't. Like, it's not surprising. And you had the Shavings as well. Thinking about it, just healing, and it wasn't uncommon for that one Celesaur to not even get KO'd. You know what I mean? And then the thing is, if you did sort of topple the insurmountable wall that is a Celesaur, they had another one ready to go. Oh man, it was horrible. It was just like this big hefty tank. Luckily, I played Ultra Malamar for a lot of that format, so I could literally just afford to just sit back and one-shot it. But if you couldn't reach over the top, and they play like all hammers and disruption stuff, so and they're just there going like, was it Solar Beam, and you're just like, oh, Man, and if you had no way to deal with it, I'm thinking back playing it now, and it's scary. Scary to think about. If you ever played against it at its heyday, it's like obviously now, so it's not that good. But back then, whoo, had some good finishes too. So yeah, that Coalossal, super annoying. Oh, Reggie Giggles for Crimson Invasion. This card is silly. This card is silly. Like what? Basic, one prizer, 180 HP I think, or 190, one of the two. Never attacks with it. They didn't bother about that. What an absolute insult of a card that was. You know, the sort of poster boy from any stalled archetypes moving forward. Like, you know, moving forward, you have stuff like Melmetal. You know, you had all these sort of tanky boys. But you always still play a couple Reggie Giggles, because it doesn't matter what kind of stalling archetype you're playing. At some point in the game, having a one prize with that much HP will come up. And it was just crazy. I had like Ace of Roller to pick it back up. Oh man, Ancient Crystal if you wanted to just tank more hits. That's a silly card. I hope they've learned their lesson printing cards like that, because that's just ridiculous. I actually played Reggie Giggles Stall quite a lot, to be fair. I think was it a Sheffield Regionals? I'd like to say a day 2 event. Went out partying the night before. I didn't really want to have to think too much the next day, so I just played like a Reggie Giggles Store. I actually did really well. So just goes to show you how good of a card that is. I didn't even really have to think much. I wasn't in the best of states, and I still did really well. Oh boy! And I think they've learned their lesson now, because you got stuff like Wishy Washy now, the sort of basic that also has 180, I believe. But it's got that ability where if it's got damage, it might shuffle itself back in. So they learn they can't be letting these big basic warm prizes have so much HP, otherwise silly stuff happens. So yeah, you've got Reggie Giggles. It's Lusamine. I've just sort of realised that I just sort of took all the annoying cards. I just took like a stall deck and just took out all the good parts of a stall deck and put them together. But Lusamine was actually a really cool card. Like I said, in that Leipzig event, played Lusamine engine. Got banned and expanded, obviously, but being able to just get back a Lusamine and just stage him, or your supporter, and over time just attrition them out. As playing against it is so annoying. Like, I imagine that sort of Leipzig deck where you Lusamine for Lusamine and Rockets. That's outrageous. Like, because you know, once you've sort of got the lockup right, like you've you counter captured something that you want that they can't move. You're hammering off their energy, and now you just like Lusamine Rockets, Lusamine Rockets, Lusamine. Just like, oh, so annoying, so annoying. I know Benjamin Rabioti, shout out to you if you're watching. He loved all these story decks. Yeah, he loves them all. I think one thing they all had in common though was the Lusamine. Lusamine was insane. Ace of Roller, get back Ace of Roller. Oh, get back, you know, your stadium, your lock stadiums. Oh man, Lusamine is such a cool card. I think the format's probably a little bit too fast for it now, to be fair, but you know, you never know. If there is another store in archetypes around, this card will still see play, and there's a reason why it got lopped off and expanded super fast. So yeah, you've got Lusamine. Next, you got Lily's Polkadot as our last one. Now, if you've been playing for a long time, you got stuff like Robosub, right? But Robosub couldn't just put itself to the bottom of the deck, and in a format with no gust, Lily's Polkadot was absolutely silly. That's why the really aggressive Cincino Mill was just because you couldn't get around the doll unless you was playing like Fireball. You couldn't get around it. Oh, really good, really good. But then like Dolstall, like the fact that Florges Dolls was an archetype, absolutely outrageous. This is one card that really annoyed me. And luckily, I never really had to play against Dolstall, and I only had to play against it once. But absolutely ridiculous when you get it. It's just like, you can't even go around it. Like, what are you meant to do? And it's just sitting there. Oh, dear. And you can just Oranguru back. Oh, that is annoying. I'm getting a bit annoyed thinking about it. Absolutely silly. Should have put Oranguru on this list, shouldn't we, thinking about it? But, yeah, that is Lily's Polkadot. So, yeah, the winner, and I think if he was playing around at this time, you know it had to be this. It's so annoying. It was a win con in and of itself. And anytime a Pokemon is like a win con in and of itself in so many games, that's how you know it was the most annoying card in Sun and Moon block. It had to be Hooper from Shining Legends. Not Hooper. So yeah, you know it's got to be Marshadow from Shining Legends. Absolutely silly card. Silly. Glad to see that boy go, that's for sure. Many a person was happy when that card rotated. Just been able to just win the game. Turn 1, Treasure, Marshadow. You drew nothing? That's a shame. Bish Bash Bosh, and away you go. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, well done, Marshadow. We're all glad to see you go. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for watching, guys, as always. Hope you like that. I've still got a few more Sun and Moon Awards videos to go. If you want to get involved, I'll leave the Google Doc down there in the description where you can cast your votes. Some of them have been done though. If you haven't seen them all, check the playlist out. You can see what we have and what we haven't covered. But thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you all next time.